this week's Talking Classics, Craig sat down with Oscar winner and Petrolhead Matt Kirkby to talk about his career and love of cars.
I think that's why I love classic cars, because they actually, you notice them.
Yes.
So you feel them, you smell them, they make you giggle, whereas brand new cars is about getting rid of everything so that you're just driving. You find yourself at the Oscars, it's like a dream, yeah? Dream come true, all the rest of it, but you are there. You're there. Jamiroquai, that's got some cars in it.
It has, it's got a little
Dude,
Fiat.
he's got some cars. I rolled his R-bar. I rolled it, yeah, in his garden.
But have you had mandarins in a tin? They're incredible.
They're very nice.
So we're here at Bridge Classic Cars today. We're joined by Oscar-winning Matt Kirkby. Hello.
Hello.
I have to admit this is a bit of an honour today, and the reason why it's an honour is a bit of a ritual in our house every night is we'll watch a TV programme and we'll go, where's that person from? And every night I have to go onto IMDb.
Yeah.
Have to, for every single TV programme. So now you're sitting here and you're actually from IMDb. So I'm honoured.
I live on IMDb, that's all I click on all day long, looking up actors and all the rest of it.
I'm going to look at the synopsis of you on IMDb, and you can correct me for everything that's correct and isn't, because I don't know if it's factually correct or not.
Yeah,
so,
they're usually a bit,
Are they a bit iffy?
You're not on IMDb Pro.
No, I'm just standard. I'm just standard. But you're on there.
Yeah.
So I'm honoured. So it says you've done over 100 commercials.
I've done more than that, yeah, maybe 500.
So it's 500, not 100?
Yeah, it's a lot more than 100. You block a lot of them out. When you go off and do, I don't know, you pay your bills with sort of burger adverts. I used to sort of do the adverts. I worked for Ridley Scott Associates, so big advertising production company. You do your adverts to pay for your music videos, because music videos have no budget.
I want to talk to you about music videos in a minute, because it really surprised me when I looked at some of the music videos you'd done.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that in a second. But the next thing that was on the IMDb is that you've had over 500 million YouTube hits.
I think it's like 1 billion now. But to be honest, about 850 million of them are from an Adele video I did. And the video I did for her, I made the mistake. There's a close-up of a mobile phone. She texts her boyfriend or something in it.
Right.
And for like a millisecond, you see the phone number, and we only had my phone, and it's got my number on it. So I've had over 10,000 phone calls.
Wow.
I get some calls. I get calls from. They hang up first. Usually it's kids, and then they call back and they go, "Is Adele there?" Wow. And I go, "Yeah, I'll just get her." And they go, put the phone down. So
you mentioned about the adverts. So you've done. I saw KFC, but you say you've done quite a lot.
Yeah, I sort of paid for half my short film that won the Oscar with those burger adverts.
Wow.
Did loads of them.
It says you hold the world record. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I do. Well, I've only set one world record. I don't hold it anymore, but I did set it.
That was my question. So you hold the world record for the most consecutive bikini waxes ever done on video, maybe?
So I'd stopped doing music videos because I couldn't afford, because the budgets are very low. Ran out of favours, basically. The video commissioner for Fatboy Slim called me up and said, wondered if you'd like to pitch on this one. And I said, I've had enough of videos now. It's hard work, and you end up not getting paid, basically. And he said, it's called Bushes. And no, I've got an idea. Why don't we just set the world record for bikini waxing?
Oh, so you actually did try to achieve that? I just thought it happened.
We had the Guinness people down. They had to set up what constituted a bikini wax. It had to be sufficiently thorough. You couldn't just pretend to do it. And I forget how many we did. We did hundreds. It was like in an hour or something, and I filmed their faces, their reactions.
Right.
And that was the video, was the reactions.
It's a very good video. And then there is this little one at the end that basically says, you are the man that won an Oscar.
I won an Oscar as well, yeah, a proper one.
They put that at the end, like it was least important. But that is an incredible achievement.
It was a lot of hard work. It was for a short film I did. You get a little email saying, you've been nominated. and it's squeaky bum time.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, do we go? Yes, you're invited. Here's the invite. And it's like Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory gold invite.
Wow.
And you get to go. You find yourself at the Oscars, you've been nominated, and they give this big spiel. Everyone has to have a speech. You know, you always wonder whether, I wonder if they write. You're told you will write a speech, every single one of you. You go for this big dinner, and they tell you what the rules are and how it's going to happen. You will write a speech, you will time it, it will be a minute, and every one of you will do that. And it makes you think, oh, there's basically at the party afterwards, there's 150 people walking around with speeches they never got around to using.
Wow. Because you are really under pressure when you actually watch the speech back now.
It was absolutely pooing my pants. It's very odd. It's like a dream, dream come true, all the rest of it. But you are there. You're there, and you're kind of, this is a dream, but I'm actually here.
So you really have no idea beforehand that it's going to be you. You're just called up.
So then it was all cool. I was actually went down the stairs, fell over.
Yeah.
Because you're in like borrowed suits with slippy, fell over on the, it was like, but I was all right by then.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find my speech because all the pockets were sewn up. It's like, how many pockets can you have?
So we met a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, because you had at the time, and you still got, your Land Rover.
Yeah, 64 Series 2A. It's daily driver.
I was going to say, it's kind of your daily, isn't it? I mean, you've got a modern, sensible car.
Yeah.
But then
my missus has got the Mini that, if you want heating or if you're... So when I take my little girl to school, we look out the window, we get the weather report, and if it's going to rain, I will not go in the Land Rover because the windscreen wipers are like this. Now, I love the fact that they're like that, and it makes my little girl giggle, but it's not very safe. And there's no heating, so if it is winter in Suffolk, you've got a frozen windscreen that you have to... So go to school in the Mini. Most of the time, I take her in the Land Rover, and she gets to sit up the front, and we've got a series of levers that she can reach that, because you've got the flaps, open flaps.
Yeah.
Lets the air in. And in the summer, it's better than the Mini. A brand new car takes 10 minutes to get cool in the summer now. You open all the windows, don't you? And then you put the aircon on, and if you've got black seats, you're like stuck to them. But with a 1964 Land Rover, it's cool already, and then you've got air conditioning in the form of flaps.
Flaps, yeah.
So it's great in the summer.
The mad thing is, with the Land Rover, it's probably best when it's snowing and wet.
Yeah.
But you don't want to drive one when it's snowing and wet.
No. It is good. I mean, when you're going four-wheel drive down the sandy tracks, it's awesome. It's just great because you giggle. It's one of those, I think that's why I love classic cars, because they actually, you notice them.
Yes.
So you feel them, you smell them, they make you giggle, whereas brand new cars is about getting rid of everything so that you're just driving.
Absolutely.
So, we jump up and down in the Land Rover. It makes weird rattles and squeaks. There's no heating, or rather there's a heater this big that cooks your ankle, so it turns into like a little pork hock. And it smells great, and you barely talk, you can't have a radio, so you yell at each other.
It's not at all practical.
No, but you giggle and you laugh, and when you put your mother-in-law in the back and a couple of kids in the back and a dog and all the rest of it, and everyone's laughing, they're all grinning.
You have that, which you've still got.
Yeah.
I also remember your Porsche 911.
Yeah.
That you had.
Yeah.
Do you regret that going?
In my head, I will end up with one again, because it was just... I had a 68 911 as well that got stolen on the way to shooting a Muse video.
How did that happen? What, was it parked up?
I had a blowout.
Right.
I hadn't... my spare wasn't up to it, so I left it by the side of the road, got on the train, headed to the shoot, and then called my mate Steve and said, can you go and sort out the spare wheel on this thing? And he got there, it was gone. And oh dear, it's been towed. Spoke to the police, hadn't been towed. Oh God. And then spoke to the insurance company, and the insurance had lapsed. So again, I was on a bicycle for a couple of years. The prices that they're going for.
Yeah. Scary, isn't it?
But I'd love to one day, or have a backdated one, because the difference between a 68, which I think was a 2.2, was it weighed nothing. So it was like being on a skateboard. It was so fast, up to about 70 miles an hour, and then it would sort of,
right,
the front would lift, and so you couldn't really go on a motorway on long distances with it, but hurtling around, nothing better. The back end would come out, but very controllable. You go around roundabouts sideways and all the rest of it. Sounded great. And then the difference between that and a 1979 backdated 911 is that was 3 litres, that had servo brakes, power steering, and it would go considerably faster without shaking at all. Electric windows, but still felt the same. Felt like that handmade. You're in a handmade suit. It's like the perfect shape.
I think it is, you know, a Porsche. I mean, I never used to be into Porsches, but I've appreciated them a lot more recently. And I think you're right. You get in it, and everything about it seems right. It seems like it's the right size for you.
There's no kind of you're looking through a windscreen, and you don't really see the bonnet. So your vision's great, and it just feels like it's fitted around you. Oh, and I had this Ferrari 308 GT4 Dino. So, interesting thing about that, so I had to sell that to get some money to put into the film. And at that point, they were apart from a Mondial, they were the cheapest Ferrari you could buy. So I sold it for like 20 grand or something. And the guy I sold it to, a lovely guy, he had 2 little girls, so he wanted it for the 2 seats in the back, because it's 2+2. But he called me up sort of a month later, and he said, oh, my life has changed since Dino's come around. And I thought, what do you mean? He said, oh, I got a call from a film company. They've paid me all this money to fly Dino out to Europe, and they're filming a movie. And it's called something like Rush. And I got on IMDb, it's like, oh no, are you kidding me? And he's like, what, is it good? And so if you watch Rush, my old Ferrari is in it.
So did he lend it to them then, or did they buy it?
They rented it for the shoot. So they wanted all these period Ferraris and Fiats and things. So I got to sit, the next time I saw it was on the big screen, thinking I shouldn't have sold that. And then the prices of 308 GT4s started doing that. But you sort of cash things in sometimes, don't you? You go, you know, with classic cars, sometimes circumstances change. You have to get rid of them, and then in your head you get them back again. So I got rid of that, cashed that in, made a short film, and the money I made from the short film, I bought the Land Rover, which was a lot cheaper, but been driving that for 7 years now. So.
If you could go out and buy another classic, whether it's one of the ones you've owned or something else, what do you think you would get? I
know the colour, I know I spend all my time on Alpha Spot looking at, it's like, Pornhub for vintage 911s. It's just all of the vintage 911s for sale, pretty much in the world, Europe, Britain, you can put in your country, and then you get these ridiculously priced kind of, purple 1971 RS, 400, 500,000 euro cars.
So you think you'd do a 911 again if
I would, but I'd probably end up with a backdated slate grey, something for a lot less money than that. But because then you're not worried about parking it anywhere. that backdated 911 I had, parked it anywhere, drove it anywhere, parked it in the middle of London. You weren't scared to drive it places.
Yeah, that was a lovely car. So you know the story. That's going to come back in here in about a month's time, and we're doing all of the interior on that car. So that's gone for a full restoration. So in a few weeks' time, you should come back and you'll actually see your
I'd love to.
911 again.
Weirdly, there is some connections with cars, because the first time I filmed something was at school, and it was a little road movie, and it was out the back of my mum's XR3 Cabriolet. And we would go out on a Sunday and film my mates in a car going through Snowdonia. I grew up in North Wales. So I did a road movie when I was 14 or something.
So since even an early age, you've always been into making films? Writing films? Yeah. But cars as well. I had a 68 Beetle that I did up with my dad about the same time. Yeah.
And we filmed out the front of that. We took the front bonnet off and sat me in the front with in those days, big camcorders. We used that as well as a tracking vehicle. Weirdly, the word dolly, a dolly shop.
Yeah.
That comes from the Citroen Dolly, because they used to cut them up and use them as tracking dollies, because they had the best suspension.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, there is a rumour somewhere, I don't know whether it's correct or not, that the Mercedes Pagoda, the SL sort of 70s Pagoda, that the roof was designed for a cameraman.
Well, it's perfect.
Apparently.
It's perfect.
Completely flat, and apparently that is so you could put a camera on the top. Whether that's true or not, someone told me the other day, and I thought, that's interesting.
Yeah. So all the cars have always been involved in some way, even if it was I sold one car to finance half of the short film.
It's a bold move then.
So, I sold it, and then I was cycling a bike for the next 2 years. I didn't have a car. And then when I first got paid to write a feature film, a Hollywood feature film, first thing I did was buy a car. There's a lot of failure, constant failure, constantly not getting the thing, and then one little spark, you get your toe in the door, and then you're into another place.
So then you've got Jamiroquai.
Jamiroquai, that's got some cars in it.
It has. It's got a little
Dude,
Fiat.
he's got some cars.
I was going to say, did you talk to him about them?
Yeah, I saw them all.
Did you?
Oh, he's got some cars. That car garage in your head, I'm sure his garage is on TV a lot.
I don't know, I've never seen it. I know of him having a lot of cars, and I know he's well into his cars.
So he had...
What, did you go to his house?
Yeah,
Right,
we shot it in his garden. Again, because he'd had enough of going away and all the rest of it. So I got to razz around his place in an Arbath. Was it Cinquecento or the next one up? I think it was a Cinquecento.
What,
proper.
that's featured?
Yeah, it's in there. We actually...
I thought it was a 500. I thought it was a little Fiat 500, but it could be the Cinquecento.
It's the old one, so it's the...
It might be the 500 then, yeah.
I think I rolled his Arbath 500. I rolled it, in his garden.
And that's in the video. I didn't see that bit in the video. I saw them. You drove, or the girls were driving bikes into the.
Oh, we had monkey
pool.
bikes. Yeah, we had monkey bikes.
I think that's my favourite video out of the music videos that I watched. So then, it was 10 years ago now, is it? 2013 was a big year for you. What are we on now? 2023. So 10 years ago was when the phone call was released.
Well, yeah. So this short film I made, it was like a 2-day shoot. We waited for a year to get Sally Hawkins. Really patiently, we really need her because she's just so good. She's awesome.
So it was definitely her that you wanted for this film.
Yeah, she was up for it,
okay.
But she was doing Woody Allen Blue Jasmine, and she just a few films maybe where she was being paid. Right. So we were waiting for her availability, and then we got it. We dropped everything. Got it shot in the 2 days. Jim Broadbent's in it as well.
Yep.
And I didn't know he was an Oscar-winning actor. He was, I'd known him from all the Mike Leigh films and stuff. He was brilliant. And then it takes you, 2 years of going to film festivals to get it seen.
So the point, this is really interesting. So the point of a short film is essentially to get yourself out there, is it? Because
Yeah,
I often
calling
wonder
card,
who
yeah.
sees a short film. Where would you go, for instance, to find the phone call if you wanted to watch it as the Joe Public at home? Where would you go? I mean, what?
Well, you could get online and you'll find it on, you know, Shorts TV, Shorts International, or Amazon, or what have you. You can buy it for 99p, kind of thing. But yeah, they are a calling card. These days, because we've got all these amazing platforms, you can see a lot of this stuff. So if you've got like Disney or Amazon or Netflix, on Oscars week, all of these little films will pop up. You get these fantastic Pixar animations that are just the best thing you've ever seen. They're better than the feature films. Way better.
So the phone call is incredible. It's really good. It's really emotive. It's well worth a watch if you haven't already seen it. So where was the inspiration behind that? Because you wrote it alongside somebody.
Yeah, we worked at RSA together. My friend James, and we wrote it together. And we found out both our mums were helpline workers.
Okay.
My mum still is. She's on Childline, and she trains other people as well now. She's been doing it for so long. And my partner Miranda was also a helpline worker. And all of them mentioned one thing, which was the first thing that somebody tells you on the helpline when they call you up asking for help is never what the problem is. So it's a kind of a detective, you know, story when you work on these things, trying to work out, you've got to uncover what the truth is so you can help these people. And I thought, oh, yeah, I can see that in a story.
Yeah, it's incredible. Well, thank you very much. Is there anything else that we need to...
It's nice, it's like going for a coffee.
Yeah.
If you like this series, remember to follow and leave us a review on the podcast platform that you use. It really helps us out. Enjoy!